Festivus. Festivus for the rest of us. In particular, guys, welcome into the podcast, Strange Conversations. I'm your host, Joanne, and let's talk about all those crazy conversations that just kind of happen. In fact, this is going to be one of them. Now, you know what? Holidays are over. Okay, guys? They're done. Christmas is over. Hanukkah's over. Thanksgiving's over. New Year's over. Santa went home and he is like hanging out with Rudolph watching Netflix. I don't know. But there is just one holiday I'd like to still celebrate. And that was given to us by a well-known New York-based series, Seinfeld. Yes, I am talking about Festivus. Festivus for the rest of us. In particular, I'd like to address the part of Festivus that always had me laughing every time I saw that one episode. The airing of the grievances. And that's this episode today. Because I got particular problems with used people, as Frank Costanza would say. Well, not really, but let's just do a clearing of the air, so to speak. And let's start this New Year's off fresh. Because it's 2024. And it's going to be better than 2023 and definitely better than 2021 and 2020, whatever. It's 2024. So let's get this on. Let's begin. Now, I've got a list right here in my iPad. We got a list, guys. Number 1 on my list of grievances. Okay, are you ready? Tolls. We've talked about it here and there about new tolls, different tolls, all these different tolls that we've got. And, it's one of those things we just have to deal with here on the East Coast, okay? Now, this is specifically what tolls are for, okay? According to Google. This is where the driver, aka the user, pays a fee for road structures, upkeep, and maintenance. Key word here, upkeep and maintenance. Let me tell you, I don't know about that, but we're gonna, okay. They say for upkeep and maintenance. Is it really being upkept and maintenance? I don't know. I feel like I'm paying the tolls and the roads are still really not that great. Anyway, usually they are faster and less congested, which is why we pay to use these. They're faster and less congested. I don't know about you guys. Every time I go over the GWB, specifically on a Sunday afternoon, trying to get back into the city, is a nightmare. It's a damn nightmare, guys. I don't understand it. Now, we all know here on the East Coast that we are pummeled with tolls. And let me tell you guys, in Jersey, in New York, and PA, they have us coming and going, but the fees are going over the top. Now to cross a bridge, it's $15. To travel from here to Atlantic City, it's about $25 one way. Round trip, it's going to be $50. And that's going through Jersey, unless, of course, you take the poor man's road. And it's actually called the poor man's road, which made me laugh when I saw the sign. But you'll have to drive an extra hour to go that way. So tolls, I don't understand. I don't know if the bridges and everything is, does it really cost that much? Because if you add up $15 by how many thousands and thousands and thousands of cars that drive over that damn bridge, one bridge, that's a lot of money. I almost think they could build 5 bridges in a year with that kind of money. So, yeah, tolls. Now, we're not going to get into specifics of the new tolls and stuff because we have lots of things coming down on us. That'll be another podcast. But tolls are my biggest grievance right now because I think on average, we probably spend every month probably about $300+ a month just tolls. And that's because Joe works in Jersey. We live in Manhattan. And to come back in, no matter what, Joe has to pay. And I think we get a discount. I think it's $13.75 instead of $15. We pay $14 every day for him to come back home. He can go there for free, but to come back home, he's got to pay $14. That's what he pays to sleep in his bed 5 times a day. 5 times a week. Sorry. Okay. Number 2 on my list of grievances, okay, People who watch the stream or visit the city and call it dirty. Listen, guys, this is one of the biggest urban areas, spaces in the world. We are not your local mall, okay? We're not a strip mall. It's a city. It's not a little town. It's not a little village. It's a city, okay? We got people. We got cars. We have garbage. And guess what? It gets picked up multiple times a week, okay? It does. You know, I don't know about you guys. And yes, we put our garbage on the curb. I remember living in everywhere, anywhere else in the middle of the United States, and my garbage would go to the curb. Do we have a lot of it? Yeah. Did you see the size of the building that the garbage is in front of? It's a massive building. We're not going to have like 3 little garbage cans. There is going to be a mountain of garbage and recycling. It's not dirty. We're putting the garbage out so it gets picked up that day. Trust me, we wouldn't be putting it out early. I mean, I don't put it out. The super puts it out. But everybody else, you got to put it out that day. You can't put it out early. You can't let it sit there for a week. We all know why, because we got little critters that like to run around. So, yeah, it's not dirty. It's a city. That's what it's called. It's called city, okay? Okay. This one goes kind of along with that one in respects to garbage. We're going to call it 2.5. And this one, speaking of garbage, this is to all of my neighbors, all of you who live in my apartment building, okay, specifically on my floor. These are the ones that like to put their trash in the hallway because they're too lazy to take it downstairs, but it's too stinky and too smelly and too gross to keep in their apartment. So you figured that the hallway is like, I don't know, your extra space, like you're outdoors. Like you're going to put a screen door like Kramer did on your damn apartment. Stop it. Like, stop. The hallway is not the outside, okay? That is a communal space that we all have to use to get to the elevator, which you should have been using to take your garbage down to the basement. I don't understand why you couldn't take it down. And sometimes it's there for a day or two. And let's not get into like you parking your bike out there either, amongst everything else. I'm waiting to see plants and like lawn ornaments soon. Stop it. Don't put that stuff out there. It's bad enough sometimes when you have these little tchotchke things out there and your door is next to mine and it's like, I'm going to kick it over. I'm sorry, but your little porcelain Santa Claus is going to be broken. Stop putting your stuff outside in the hallway. That's not where it goes, okay? Take your garbage downstairs. Nobody wants to smell it. And we all know that if you live in New York and you have neighbors that do this, I guarantee you do. We all know that we wish and we hope that the next time you take the garbage out of your garbage can to take it and put it in the hallway, we hope it breaks inside your apartment. We hope the garbage breaks inside your apartment, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you, stop doing it, okay? Number 3 on the list. This is for all the baristas and the coffee shops. This is for you guys. Why do the coffee lids not stay on the coffee cup suddenly? I don't know what's going on. Every time we get a coffee cup, like I got a coffee cup right here. You guys know Joe drinks a lot of coffee. We drink a lot of coffee while we're out. But I can't tell you how many times he gets a coffee cup and the coffee lid, for some reason, doesn't fit. And now Wawa has 2 different kind of lids. Like they have the one that's completely molded and then they have the one that's got the little flip top thing. I don't know. It's like just choice. Why do we have 2? We can't find out? You didn't know which one people liked? I don't know. And then why? 1, do they not fit properly? And 2, why do the baristas always put the sipping hole aligned with the seam of the coffee cup? This is a major grievance for me. Because every time you see that, you know that if you take the sip, that is the weakest point in that coffee cup, which means you're going to be dribbling it all down the front of you. Why? Why are you putting it there? What is it? Because the way you load the coffee? I don't understand, but I can guarantee you that 9 out of 10 times when I get a coffee, it is always right there. And I don't understand it. Stop doing it. because I always have to fix it. I always have to take my coffee lid and readjust, and that's always a nightmare. Okay, number 4, music. I love music, guys. I love all kinds of music. I love rap. I love classical. I love rock, pop. I love everything. Okay, country, not so much, but some of the country right now is actually pretty decent. It's okay. It's not bad, But here's the thing. I don't want to hear what you're listening to while I'm sitting on the subway for 15 minutes trying to get home. I don't know if you think you're like, the roaming DJ, or you got your own theme song to your life playing while you're sitting on the subway. I don't know what it is, but can we please use some headphones? There's some that are really cool looking. You could use little AirPods. You could use anything you like, but please, I don't need to be, serenaded with your music. You're not the DJ. This isn't the club. Keep it to yourself, okay? Number 5, the MTA and their so-called Omni Card. Guys, I know change comes. I know it does. And they're trying to make it easier for us, but they're not, okay? What the Omni Card is now, they call it the Omni Card. Basically, is an app on your phone that you have to use. So no matter what, you're going to be using your phone. Or they say, use the same credit card on your phone. Do you think I want to give the MTA, aka the subway people, direct access to my credit cards? No. I don't want to do it. It's not happening. It's not smart. Number 1, they charge you twice. I don't know why they do it. They do a pre-charge and then a charge. I've seen it happen. I will use my little yellow subway card until it turns into a tattered mess, until you make me give it up, until it's absolutely no longer useful. I will load $20 a time on it, because this way Joe and I can use one card. But they're not doing it for our benefit. They're doing it so you can't keep re-swiping. So everybody has to use a separate card. It's annoying. Stop it. No, I don't want your Omni Card. And here's the other thing. They don't even sell Omni Cards. Like a physical, you can actually get a physical Omni Card. They don't even sell them at the subway stations. So my question is then, how do people who don't have a phone or a credit card, like, how do they function? How do they use this? I don't understand that. I hate it when some company decided they were going to make a lot of money and help the subway, but basically they're just making a lot of money by initializing these systems and these apps. Stop it. We had a good system with the tokens, I guess, but now then we went to subway cards, and that was fine. And actually I liked them because I loved when they put out special cards. I would go buy more subway cards just to get all the David Bowie ones. Now you're too technical. Stop it. Stop it. We're just paying a toll to get on the damn subway. Stop. And speaking of the subways, subway announcers. Guys, I don't know, but we all don't speak Charlie Brown, okay? Anytime I'm on the subway and the announcer comes on, this is what we hear. Wah, 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 no, wah, wah. That's exactly what we hear. We don't know what you said. We're all just staring into the distance, trying not to make eye contact with, anybody else on the subway too much. But when you make those announcements, I don't know if my stop is being missed. I don't know if we're going express. I don't know anything, but you just keep repeating it. The only thing we hear maybe is don't block the doors. That's what we hear. That's because the guy came on and he said it really loud, but everything else is a wah-wah. It's Charlie Brown. So number 7, this one is for all those who visit the city and they all do the certain kind of walk. Now I'm talking about, this is mostly tourists, okay? I'm going to actually say this is always tourists. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that lives here or is a local do this. But this certain walk they do, it's kind of called the zombie shuffle. Now, this is when people are walking and they're literally taking half steps. Like you're shuffling along the side. I don't know. And they do this, like, you'll see this at like amusement parks or places like that. They just shuffle along like in a mass group. Why are you doing that? We take full steps here, okay? We walk fully. If you need to look at your phone or make a phone call or take a text or check some directions, pull over. Just pull the hell over. You know, you wouldn't do it when you're driving. Don't do it when you're walking, especially here in New York, and stop the shuffling. This is really apparent when it's the holiday season, because people are, especially around Rockefeller Center and of course Saks Fifth Avenue, any of those places, Bryant Park, in the shops, people are acting like they are seeing these sites and like they're on this like little rail thing that's going do 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 do, and they got to look at every single thing. Start walking. You know where you're gonna go there. The zombie shuffle, don't do it. That's what Number 8 on my list. When people come and they compare any other city to New York City, okay? Because that one drives me crazy. Now, I did not grow up here. Everybody here knows this. I did not grow up in New York. I am not a local. I mean, I'm a local, but I'm not a native, okay? I wasn't born here, blah, blah, blah. I was born in Michigan, like Detroit, okay? So I am from away. I have lived in Michigan. I have lived in Ohio, by Cleveland. I have lived in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I've lived near Indianapolis. I've lived in a lot of different cities, and we finally settled down here in New York. We've been here for a decade. We're New Yorkers. Okay, but when people come in and they start comparing New York City to any other city, stop. Every city has its own identity, okay? London is like London. Tokyo is like Tokyo. Chicago, well, it's like Chicago, okay? Every city is like itself. It's like specifically those iconic and well-known large cities. You're going to have your own flavor and your own identity. They don't, and they will never be the same as each other. And none of them will definitely be like New York, okay? Tokyo is never going to be like New York. London is never going to be like New York. Chicago is nowhere near anything like New York, okay? So okay, this section here is specific for YouTube, okay? For YouTube live streaming. There are a lot of live streamers, okay, on YouTube now. It's become the thing. It is the new thing for everybody. Always put up videos and stuff, but I've usually done live streaming from day one when I really started working on my channel. I did a little bit of videos, but I am mostly a live streamer. But these are the things that make me a little crazy, and I'm sure they make other live streamers specifically a little crazy. Ask people, when people come in to the chat and they ask or comment on personal stuff. It could be about like how you look, who are you, how many people are in your family, what do you do, what does your husband do, like what's your living, where do you, all these crazy like personal comments. One, I'm not going to address those comments or questions. If I don't have to. Just because you ask them does not mean I have to answer them. It is, if you're asking those questions, I'll guarantee you either I won't answer. And number two, my mods, they're damn Jedi Knights. They'll take care of it. They'll be like, don't ask a personal question. That's too personal. You know, I kind of crack up. Number 2 on the list. This is probably another big one for a lot of live streamers. Telling us where or what other YouTube live streamers are doing at that moment. Like, come on. Like, this one makes me laugh to no end. I will be in other people's chats and I will see this happen quite often. And it happens in my own chat where somebody will come in there. We're all having a conversation because that's what I do. When I walk, I have a conversation with people. And there could be 300 people in the chat, 100 people talking. And then somebody will come in and say, did you know blah, blah, blah is driving to California? I'm like, why would I know? Why would I care? What does that have to do with what we're doing right here? And I'm walking in Bryant Park. Or they'll say, did you know that this person, that person is over at the blah, blah, blah parade? I'm not at the blah, blah, blah parade. So why are we talking about it? I don't understand. You know, I do know a lot of live streamers here in the New York area. I've known them from all over the country and stuff like that. I haven't met people from outside of the world. I would love to meet a couple of them. But for the most part, when we do a live stream, we are trying to engage the audience with what we are doing and entertain you guys. That's what we do. I love doing it. I love my job and stuff. And I love showing my city and taking you around. But it's just so funny to me and odd that people find that that is information that would be relevant to what we're doing. Now, if I was at the parade and somebody said, hey, such and such is over at the parade over here, he's really close, maybe I would stop and say hi to them or something. I do know quite a few live streamers here, you know, and I have quite a few that I'm actually friends with and that I really enjoy their work. I can tell you a couple of them over here. There's Bagels and Walks. There's Dutch Ma's. There's Live Walking NYC and Live NYC Walking, I think. You know, there's a lot of different people, but we all do our own thing. And we all have our own flavor. So when I feel like people come into a chat and specifically say, such and such is driving to California, I'll be like, they're not even in New York. And I get it. Everybody loves a lot of different live streamers. I do. But when I go into someone's chat, when you see me in another live streamer's chat, I'm going to tell you right now, I will never advertise my channel. I am there for that live streamer and to enhance and enjoy their live stream. I am there. If I'm chatting about what they're doing, what's happening. You will not ever hear me say, I am going to be blah, blah, blah. I will never, ever do that. Because that is rude, it's crass, and it's so base. That ain't me. Coffee. Okay? Now, I will tell you, I did ask some of the viewers for some of their grievances, things that they would like to air. Because you know what? This is what it is. It's the airing of the grievances. We want to get it out. We want to lift ourselves and be ready for the new year. So airing of the grievances from some viewers. And I'm not going to give names. But you know what? I thought these were kind of good. Okay. This one was said, when young kids or girls, and I mean, I guess any age or gender really, when they talk super loud with the intent of getting someone's attention and trying to get them to join in on a conversation, when they don't really want to say so, they talk louder and so more obnoxious with all their mannerisms and fake laugh. It's like they just want attention. I get that one. There are people that do that. They're just extra large, extra loud, extra big kind of thing. Yeah, that's just youth, I think. And sometimes it's annoying. I get it. This one had me cracking up. The self-checkout. When the person sent this to me, I was laughing. The self-checkout guys at the grocery stores now. Now all of a sudden, we're all checking out and doing our own work. We're actually working for the grocery stores. And this is when they have people standing at the exit door to make sure you didn't steal anything when you checked yourself out. I mean, if they're trusting you to check myself out, what the F are they checking? You guys, exactly. I hear you on this one. You make us do all the work. You have one person standing there that really doesn't like their job. They're never very happy. And you're making us do it. And then we have to put it on this scale so it can weigh everything to make sure that we don't steal anything. And we can't even bag it. You know what I mean? We do that. And then you still have another person there to check it out. Costco is huge on this one, by the way. Costco doesn't even trust their checkers to check us out. We got to check the damn receipt at the door. But come on. Stop it. If you're really worried about like the, I don't know, $5 ice cream that may have misscanned, I don't know. Stop. We pay for our groceries. I mean, we stood here. Do you really think our life is dependent upon that? Come on. Another person said, when Apple suddenly stopped supporting their own equipment, forcing consumers to buy a new one. You know what? This goes for any electronics. I got to tell you, every time a new electronic device, edition, whatever, comes out, there's always a slight little change. And I specifically found it when I bought my new iPhone. I was like, these are almost exactly the same. They're like the same size as the old iPhone I had. But you know what was different? The cutout around the photo cameras. Wasn't specific. It was just a little bit different so that the old case would not fit the new case because they were exactly the same size. And, you know, we also now don't get the cubes. We get the cord, but we don't get the cubes. And now we have new connectors. So the funny thing is I normally would be using my mics, but guess what? The connector on my mic is the old Apple connector, not the new one. Can't use it. I got to get new mics, guys. Or a new, I don't know. I got to figure that one out. Figure out a new one. But yeah, when they don't support their own stuff after a while, it drives me nuts. Because like there are some phones that no longer can be used because they're so old. Probably because they probably wouldn't have enough memory too. This person said, that is an easy one for me because I asked for the grievances. She says, my grievance is people that insist on bringing their pets and babies to Vegas. They are everywhere now. Exceptions can be made for legit service animals. Preach. Guys, it's Vegas. And we're talking, I'm not talking you're bringing your kids to the zoo or the park or something along the, you're not even going to the damn candy place because there's a candy shop there that you can go to and they have a garden. You're not even going there. You guys are legit in the casino and you're pushing a baby stroller and it's a baby and a toddler and a 3-year-old. And I don't understand that. You took a vacation to Vegas with your kids. It's Vegas. There's nothing for kids to do. There's some stuff. But I don't think you're going to the Pinball Hall Museum because guess what? I've already read about the Pinball Museum or Hall of whatever it's called. There's like this ginormous pinball place. They don't even like kids there because all of their stuff is like museum quality. They don't want kids playing it. But yeah, I agree with you on that one. Whenever I'm at the casino in Atlantic City and I see that and people are pushing their kids through the casino, I have seen people have kids on their laps at a slot machine. And then I had the security yell at me because I was filming it. I'm like, why does he have a child in here? That's why I'm filming it, because there's a child on his lap and she's pushing the buttons. But you're upset at me because I'm filming it and you haven't said anything. I can't. I literally can't. Okay, next one. Now this one, this person said, this is probably going to upset most people, but you asked. I did ask. It says, people that claim they are great cooks, yet everything they use either comes out of a can or a box. She's a from scratch kind of cook. Listen, I get that one too. I understand what you're saying because nothing can really beat cooking from scratch. I will admit that there are great ways to do shortcuts. Am I stewing down my own tomatoes? No, I'm not doing that. Those do come from a can. But I try not to use a lot of processed foods anymore. We literally shop the outside of the aisles at the grocery store and we only go in the middle for like a sweeteners or almonds or nuts and things like that. We don't really shop the interior. There's too much processed food out there. And I think a lot of people in the US specifically fall back on those. So I do agree with you on that. Those are good for their places, you know, time and place. Like if you're making, you need to throw something together because you get into like, I don't know, tailgating party. Perfect. But on the everyday thing, stop. Don't do it. Too much. Then this other person said, having to need an app to pay for parking in the city. Bring back the meters as an option. Same with the tokens. Make it an option. Yes. And then they also mentioned taking up all the parking spots between the bike lanes with the sheds. This is so multifold. Yes. The meters now, you need an app. They don't even, I think they take card still. I think they now take card because they're not a quarter anymore. That's really rare to find them. You might find them in tiny, tiny towns that actually have parking meters. But in the city, everything takes a card, or it is all done by app, like Park NYC. It's what it is now. We're now to the thing of apps. I don't know how we would function without a dang phone. If somebody has a dumb phone that doesn't have all these applications, I don't know how you can function in society anymore. That's what they've done to us now. Taking up all this parking spaces with bikes and also the sheds have to go. I'm to the point of the sheds have to go. It's got to be more of a seasonal thing. Nobody's utilizing it for diners now here in New York. They're just basically using it as storage. And they're locked up all the time because they don't want the homeless and other peoples to go in there. Get rid of them. They're just done. Anyway, guys, this is Joange. This was Strange Conversations. I'm so glad we cleared the air for 2024. Got the grievances out of the way. 2024 is here. Let's get it rolling. Drop me a comment, guys, on this one. Tell me what your grievances are. Tell me how you want to clear the air. Whatever. It's all good. You know what? Unless it's really rude or really whatever or trollish, I'll respond. I'm going to see what's going on there. It'll make for some really good strange conversations. And then you know what? We'll see you next time. Bye.